Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome to another week of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff, and I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, and I am your Taiwanese-American Southern Californian.
What's up, everybody? I'm Parth. They haven't fired me yet, so I'm still out here driving a 2016 M3, Northern California. We out here, man. Another week.
Yeah.
Another week, another
This is
another dollar.
episode 10.
Episode 10. Wow.
Yeah, we have reached this milestone.
It's a big deal for us because we never thought we'd make it this far, so...
Yeah, and based on our own laziness, we definitely didn't think we would make it this far.
Yeah, well, we did. And it's showing. More people are listening, Jeff. There's more I don't know. I that's what I thought.
We're just making stuff up again.
The Curbside Podcast. We're still consistent on that.
Our motto was the title of our last week's episode, Fake News and Broken Promises, or Empty Promises.
Yeah, but that's a promise that we do keep. Let's get on with this shit.
Yeah, Parth, so this week, I wanted to talk about some nostalgic topic. Okay?
Nostalgia. Always good.
I want to talk about the beginnings.
Of time?
Of time and everything to know of ourselves.
Oh, because I was like, man, I don't know anything about the beginning of time, bro. I wasn't there.
So for something we were there for, I wanted to talk about what cars do you remember your parents owning and what memories do you have with them?
I don't even know if I was there for that mentally. That's cool, dude. I mean, let's see. Okay, the first memory I have of my parents' car was my mom used to have a Mitsubishi. I don't remember what it was. I just know it was a Mitsubishi sedan, white, right? For some reason, I used to like it a lot. This is probably because I was like 4 or 5. I thought it was fantastic. Then, a few years later, my dad gets my mom a Jaguar XJR. You know the sedan, Jeff?
Oh, brand new?
That I don't remember. I just know we got a Jaguar. I hated that Jaguar. I hated it. Dude, I hated that car. Like, I would hate sitting in it. I would hate being in it because it gave our family so much trouble. It was such a troublesome car, dude. Like,
well, you know why?
No. Because it's
a Jaguar.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that back then. Like, now, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's we should have seen that coming a mile away. Uh-huh. But, I mean, it was a nice car, right? Like, you know, luxurious, Jaguar. And this was back when they put V12s in those things, dude. Jeez. I didn't even know that till, like, about 3 years ago. I'm like, damn, we used to own a V12? But we had the Mitsubishi. When we had the Jaguar as well. Because I hated the Jaguar so much, and of course, you know, the parents want to drive the Jaguar because it's the new car, it's the nice car, right? Nobody drove the Mitsubishi. So, you know, I like threatened my mom that drive the Mitsubishi or I'm going to sell it. And they just laughed because it's like, who the hell are you? Exactly.
How old were you again?
Like 4 or 5.
Ma'am, I'm going to sell your car.
Okay, go ahead. Like, okay, go. Do it. Yeah, I mean, I hated that car, though, because, like, it would, like, there was times where I was, like, driving my mom, and it got us stranded, and as a kid, like, getting stranded is hella scary, because you think the world's gonna end, nobody's gonna come save you. I hated that car, yeah. This is my mom's side right now. I'm going through my mom's, what she's had. After the Jaguar, sold that, and parents were like, let's go the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and bought a Lexus RX 300, you know, the SUV?
So they went from the least reliable car to the most reliable car.
Yes, literally. Then we sold that for an Acura MDX, very similar to the one you have. That's why I know stuff about your car. Because we had pretty much the same exact car. We just didn't have the running boards.
I feel like during that time, everyone bought that car.
Yeah, in that color that you have, too. The green?
Yeah, like, I saw those things everywhere. Every other person had one of those.
Oh yeah, seriously, dude. So I liked that car. I liked it a lot. I liked it more than the Lexus, actually. More character, I felt. I mean, Lexus is an appliance anyway, but side topic. But so we had the Acura. I had the Acura for a while, and then since 2010, we had a CX-9. And then now, just recently, this past December, my mom got the BMW X3. My dad, I'll tell you the one car that he had that pisses me off. I mean, that pisses me off that he doesn't have it still to this day, right? But for a while, my dad was just on company cars. So he had a white Pontiac. You know the sedan, the Pontiac sedan is like the typical from the 90s.
Yeah.
He had that, and then he had a green one.
Yeah.
Both of those he sold to his uncle in New York. Yeah. And both of those we drove across the country to give it to him. We did like a cross-country road trip. One of those I wasn't there for because I wasn't freaking alive. The second one I was there for, but I was really young, so I only remember certain things. So then he got an RX-8 in 2002. The RX-8 was the one that really started getting me into cars because I'm like, damn, cars can be cool. Remember I told you this that one episode? It was a silver one. Then one day when he was coming back from his his tennis club, his group of friends that he used to play tennis with, some dumbass woman in a big ass SUV jumped a red light and hit his front left side of the car. Car was totaled. Insurance paid out though. And he went and bought another RX-8, 2004, the gray one, which you've seen. And then that's the one that's been here, was with us since 2004.
Yeah.
And then now he's out here with the fast red sports car.
A fast red sports car.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah, fast red sports car.
What car did you say you were pissed off about him not having?
Oh, so he used to own a German car back in like the 90s before I was born, and it was a BMW M3. He's telling me about this. He's like, I used to have an M3 too. It was fun and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, you wish you kept it. He's like, yeah. And he kept calling it E36 M3. But he kept saying he had it in the 90s and he never told me the model year. Until he told me the model year, I'm like, Dad, they never made an E36 that year. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they didn't make an E36 that year. He's like, so what did I have? So I showed him pictures of the E30 and the E36. I'm like, which one of these did you have? He's like, that one. And he points to the E30. I'm like, bruh, you used to own an E30 M3?
Oh, man.
And I was like, what did you do with it? So apparently they had it for a bit. He bought it used, very low mileage from somebody, drove it for a while. And then they wanted to sell it because it was a two-door, right?
Yeah.
He's driving on the freeway one day and apparently he tells me this dude rolls up, and they had a for sale sign in the car. And this dude like rolls up next to him, and he's like signaling them like, "Hey, like I want that car." And he's like, "Can you pull over?" So he pulls over, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll buy this car. How much are you asking for it?" My dad was asking freaking $14,000 for it.
Oh my gosh, how much are they worth now?
A good example could be easily anywhere above 40, 50, 60K. So so my dad's like, okay, and he sold it for what he was asking. The guy didn't like even want to pay less. And come 2 years ago, I'm like, bruh, why? You should have kept that car, man. So that's what I'm just like, God damn it.
Money on it.
Dude, seriously, man. But like, who knew back then,
Yeah, no one ever knows, dude.
Yeah.
Except with some cars, no one really knows what a future classic's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's not a Ferrari or some special Lambo or something, or you think it's not gonna go up, and then you're like, wait, shit.
Dude, because freaking when I was either grade school or high school and dreaming about the NSX, when I was that age, you could pick like a pretty good used one up for like 20 some grand.
Oh yeah.
And now they're like 60, 70, 80, 100 grand for one of those.
My uncle, his dad had an NSX since new, and he barely drove that shit. So like up till like 5-6 years ago, it had hella low miles. Like I'm talking like 3,000-4,000 miles since new, mint condition. And then he gave it to his brother, my uncle's brother, and apparently that guy's just like a freaking DJ in a new ne'er-do-well. freaking almost pretty much just ruined the car, dude.
What?
Like he
No.
daily drives it in the snow and then like just doesn't take care of it and like just abuses it because he thinks it's a free car. And I'm just like, what a shame.
Give
what
it
a
to me,
damn
man.
shame.
Hey, let's go steal it.
No, now you don't want to, dude. Now it has hella miles and it's like a piece of
Hey,
shit.
if I could get an NSX for free, I'm gonna like.
I mean that logic works with a lot of things, Jeff. If I could get an iPhone for free, I'm down to steal it. Yeah, let's do that shit, Jeff. Let's promote criminal stealing on our podcast. That's gonna go over well. Yo, we gotta talk about your contract, man. I mean, what? Please do not listen to Jeff. He's lost a couple screws since last week, but
Anyway, going back to your dad's E30 and all those other cars, did you have any like good memories in any of those cars that you could talk about?
dude, CX-9, we had that for a long. That was a car we had for the longest time. We did a bunch of road trips in that car, dude. That's the car I learned. I drove on the freeway with for the first time. Did a road trip to Utah in that, man. We did a road trip up into Canada in that car, man.
What was the best road trip that you took in that car?
Dude, we did this like 2-week road trip from here up to Seattle, Vancouver, out east in Canada to Banff and Jasper, Calgary, down from Calgary into Montana, to Montana National Park, down through Utah, coming back through Nevada. That was one of the nice road trips, man. Like, you really see a lot more things when you drive that kind of trip rather than fly or take other kind of transportation. It's just kind of like an off story, but like on that trip, right?
Yeah.
So we had with us was my mom's uncle and aunt. So we stop at a McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And he goes by VG Gupta. His name is Virendra Gupta.
Uh-huh.
So he goes by VG Gupta, which is Virendra Gupta.
What?
I don't know. Okay, I've never figured that out to this day. But this shit was so funny, dude. We're at McDonald's and we're ordering some food, and he's like, "Hey, order." And I'm like, "All right," and he's paying. The guy at the McDonald's, and mind you, this is like somewhere in like fucking like, I think Utah, North Utah, or like Montana, out in the middle of nowhere. Not many brown people out there, man. I think we're the only brown people for a good few hundred miles, maybe a few thousand. You go there and like, you know, like especially back then, like now everything's more kind of like globalized. You know, people are more aware of everything, right? But you walk in back then, people look at you, you're like, yeah, these guys aren't from here, right?
Yeah.
So you walk into this fucking McDonald's and you're ordering, and the guy asks my mom's uncle for his name, right? And I'm just standing, he goes, yeah, Victor. I look at him and I'm trying to hold in, like not laughing. And the cashier is also just kind of like staring at him, and he kind of looks at me and he's like, Victor? Like, you could tell that was a question on his face. Like, Victor? So I'm just like sitting there confused because I wasn't expecting that shit, right? I was expecting him to say, oh yeah, VG, or, you know, his name. He's like, yeah, Victor. I'm like, what the hell, Victor? Who the shit is Victor, dude? So afterwards we get out, I'm like, yo, what? Who's Victor? He's like, oh, that's the name I gave him. I'm like, yeah, I know that. No shit, I was there. He's like, I'm like, why did you use Victor? He's like, oh, because you know how they go, like, you know how when you're spelling something, you say V for Victor, or, you know, P for Paul. So I'm like, V for Victor. Okay, Victor.
Okay, my name is J for John. John.
Yeah, exactly. So I just told him Victor, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like just laughing my ass off, dude, because the funniest part was like, you know, like those moments where like somebody's face just tells you everything they're thinking? The dude's face at that McDonald's was like, I wasn't expecting this. Old brown dude and a younger brown dude walk in, and one guy, his name is Victor. That dude's like whole perception of Indians and like the typical stereotypes that he probably learned through like movies and shit was completely destroyed that day.
I need to go reevaluate my life.
He's like, apparently they can be called Victor. Yeah, so that was on one of those road trips. It was hilarious. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm always asleep on road trips, dude.
God damn it, Jeff! This guy. Oh, I like autonomous. I don't like autonomous cars. I like to experience. Goes to sleep on road trips. What's wrong with you?
It's like teleporting.
You're probably the one that would like watch movies in the back, didn't you?
Nah, dude, I played the GameCube in the back.
Oh my god, dude.
Hey, man, the farthest road trip we went, well, in the case of when I was little, was going to Vegas. And if you're driving from the LA area to Vegas, there's nothing really interesting on the road.
Hey, man, I've also driven from Vegas from the Bay Area. That's longer.
Yes. Okay,
I didn't got no TV or GameCube in the back.
What, were there views out the window, though?
No, but I was fucking looking at it.
Because, there's nothing out the window. I'm going to look at it.
Oh, I mean, what else is my choice? I didn't know iPhones back then, man. You think they had iPhones back then, man?
No, that's why I was playing the GameCube. Or
God, yeah, you lucky you had a GameCube. I didn't even get a PS2 till I was like junior high. And I'm glad my parents did that for me. Because now, I never get bored when I'm in a car, no matter where we're going. I've never once asked, are we there yet?
Me neither. You know why?
But that's because you're passed out in the backseat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like, you missed out some cool shit, bro.
Dude. Well, I just missed out on dirt. That's it.
It's different dirt.
Oh, good.
At
Yes,
least it
I
makes
saw
you
brown
worldly
dirt,
on
light
dirt.
brown dirt, orangey brown dirt. Okay, cool, dirt. Nah,
Yeah.
dude. I get to go and sleep, and then I teleport there.
Then you miss out on like meeting the very interesting people along the way.
Yes, meeting the dirt.
I mean, don't you stop at like rest stops and shit? You never ran into that, the typical trucker guy at the truck stop and he's like telling stories and you're like, God damn it, dude, are these even true?
Nah, dude. We just drive and we get there.
God damn it. God
Which
damn it,
lets
Jeff.
me go into the cars my parents owned growing up.
Yeah.
So my parents started from a Toyota Corolla.
Nice.
So my parents had just moved to the States.
I don't want to say typical, but
So my parents had just moved to the States, and I believe the first car they bought was either. So we had two cars at the time. It was either it was a red Toyota Corolla. I don't know if you remember the '90s Toyota Corollas.
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't? You still see them.
Yeah, because they run forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the one with the big piece of black plastic on the trunk.
Yeah.
You see those? And the second car we had was a Honda Accord wagon.
Ooh.
Yeah, a 90s Honda Accord wagon in that typical like 90s turquoise color.
Yeah. That's, you gotta have it on that.
Yeah, with the typical kind of like, those, they look like kind of like brushed alloy wheels.
Yeah.
And then the interior, okay? The interesting thing about the interior was my dad wanted leather. And at the time, they didn't make leather for that car.
Yeah, that was reserved for the other cars, the ones above $50,000.
Yeah, exactly. Like back then it was like you get cloth and that's all you got. But when he bought the car, the guys at the dealership was like, yeah, we could if you want leather, we could get leather put in. And he got leather put in. So it had like this like kind of light colored leather interior, this turquoise outside. It was a wagon, dude. Man, how many Accord wagons do you see nowadays?
0.
Yeah. If
pretty
you
much-
look on Auto
yeah.
Trader and try to find that car, you're never gonna find it. And dude, like, I'm so
Should have
sad.
kept it, dude. Could have been worth as much as the E30 M3.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, dude, but we sold that thing for $1,000, and it had what 100,000 miles on it.
Probably has another like 200,000 left on it.
Yeah, and we sold it for $1,000. Man,
Yeah.
we got gypped. But man, the memories in that car, dude. So the Accord, okay, it was made as a sedan, and then they changed it to the wagon. They changed it to the wagon for the wagon. Wow, logic, man.
That's all I was trying to think in my head, but I'm like, okay, what's he trying to say?
Okay, so they changed it into wagon, but they didn't change the air conditioning.
Oh, so it was weak as shit.
Yes, because
Okay.
there's more open space in a wagon. So, living in Southern California, it was hot AF.
Yeah.
So there were this one of the reasons why I fall asleep on the car all the time, because we would drive to Vegas in that thing, and then it would be so hot. The AC sucked. There was no tinted windows or anything. It was just a greenhouse. So I just wanted to fall asleep all the time. And also driving home from school. I went to school quite a distance away from my house. On the way there was always traffic, and on the hot days in that terrible air conditioning, it sucked.
So you just went to sleep.
Yeah. So here's the reason why I don't like, you know those news channels on the AM radio?
Yeah.
Every time on the way back home, that was what was on the radio for me. There was this one time, okay, we were stuck in traffic. It was super hot, and my head just started to hurt so bad. Like I had this like blazing headache. And from then on, when I hear that radio, I get triggered.
Lol?
like that's all that reminds me of. So I'd never listen to those news radio stations because that's all I think about. Being hot in a car with my head about to explode.
Well, next time I hang out with you, I know how I can piss you off.
I'm gonna throw you out of the car. I'm gonna rip out the radio in your car.
I'm like, Jeff, I really want to listen to some public radio right now.
You're God. If I crash and die, then fine. Who cares? As long as I don't have to listen to that dang radio again.
What else did your parents own?
So after that was my dream car at the time. A silver...
NSX.
Yes. A silver Acura... a silver Honda Odyssey. I was so mind blown by this thing because it had those electronic slidey doors. And I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah, dude, those were lit.
This is so cool. Right?
Dude, as a kid, I was so fascinated by vans.
Yeah.
Especially that. And then we'd never get a van because my dad was always like, I don't want to be caught dead in one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we never had vans, but I was so fascinated as a kid with other people that did.
Because if you think about it, like as a kid, you would be, right? Because it's got all this like sort of stuff. It got the sliding doors, those seats that like fold and slide into the floor and stuff. Man, we took that thing one time. We took that thing to we went to, you know those Body Worlds exhibits?
Yeah. Morbid, but apparently people have money to see that shit.
Yeah, my parents wanted me to go because it's like, you're going to be a doctor when you grow up, so you have to like this now. I'm like, cool, we're like, in elementary school, but fine. And we had to go super early in the morning because it was really big at the time. So what we did was we drove there, and in the back, like, we folded down those seats, right? And then we put like cushions back there. Yeah. And my friend and I, we just slept in the back while they drove there.
Nice. Dude,
I was like, this is nice.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
One of my boys here, Sean, right?
Yeah.
His family has a Honda Odyssey, and recently he came over and he's like, all right, we're going somewhere. He's like, I'll drive. So he pulls up, and we're getting in the back of the car, and I open this door. I'm like, yo, Sean, where the fuck are your seats? This dude, what he did was the middle row, right?
Yeah.
He took the seats out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently with the new ones, you could remove the entire seats.
Yeah, you could do that for the earlier ones, too.
Okay, so I'm not sure, but he removed the entire seats, and he left the back seats there.
Yeah.
So he has, like, you're sitting at the back of that shit, and has more room than a goddamn Maybach, dude.
Yeah, no, dude, that's what we did one time. My friend and I, again, trip to Vegas, okay? Like, we ripped out the middle seats, put them, left them at home, and just had the back seats.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, yes, I am in the first class cabin. I am in a Maybach.
Dude, it's nice.
And then we put, like, everything we had, like our luggage, or, like, sort of, like, cooler with food everywhere in the middle. You know what the funny thing is, though? If you don't have seatbelts on, and, your parents brake, there's a lot of space for you to fly forward. I was like, I just, like, took off my seatbelt to kind of, like, grab a snack. Brake. Yeah. Whoa!
Oh, hey, Jeff, how you doing? How's the weather back there?
I don't know. I know, like, as car people, we're not supposed to like vans, but vans are pretty fun sometimes. You could
I don't like vans. I like the Honda Odyssey. I don't like the Sienna. All the American vans, don't like them. Yeah, man. The Odyssey, though, like, that has a soft spot, even though I've never owned one. There's just been, like, so many different experiences that I've had through, like, friends' Odysseys, or, like, when we've rented Odysseys for, like, we did a road trip one time, and I was just like, dude, there's so much room. Because, as a kid, you're always sitting in the back.
Yeah,
so, you're always, like, squished or whatever in the other cars. In the Odyssey, you're like, I'm a king. Oh, and that was, like, the first car that we actually had that we rented that came with, like, the backseat, like, DVD player. Because my parents always refused to buy cars with that shit, which, as I said, I'm glad they did. Because it makes me not like you in terms of falling asleep every time you drive somewhere.
What's
God
wrong with
damn it.
falling asleep every time?
You
I
don't
drive
see
somewhere?
the different dirt, Jeff. You don't see the different types of dirt.
Okay,
Dirt-
good. I'm glad
the
you're
dirt teaches you
educated
things, man.
on all the. Go be a geologist, man.
Bro, it's not just
If
about
you're
the dirt,
interested
dude.
in
It's about
rocks
what's
and dirt.
also built on that dirt, man.
There's nothing built on that dirt. It's just dead trees.
Excuse me, not all the trees are dead. Just because you only went to Vegas doesn't mean that that's how all the road trips are.
But that's the thing. That's my only road trip was to Vegas. So
all right,
that's
you know
all.
what? You got to get your ass up here. We just do a massive road trip somewhere. I don't even know where.
Probably that's a good idea.
Yeah,
We'll go to Vegas.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
But yeah, dude, same for me. Like, that's Odyssey will always have a soft spot for me because, honestly, because after that Odyssey, we got the MDX, which is still not kicking anymore. It's just kind of dead there. But we got the MDX, and then after that,
Share the joke with the rest of us, man.
I'm sorry, because I just remembered why we sold that initial Odyssey. Because my dad just wanted my dad wanted a new car at that time. And he was looking for any excuse to sell that old Odyssey. And one day, I was kind of just like on the way home and bored. I put my feet on the dash and sort of just started walking my feet up the windshield. And then genius kid me, was like, what happens if I like press with a little force on my with my feet on the windshield? So I did it, and it cracks. And my dad was like, Jeff, what the? Okay, time to get a new car.
He was probably, Jeff, what the hell did you do? Hey, honey, we gotta get a new car, man. Jeff, shit's gone. It's fucked. We were done. Car's totaled.
So we ended up just selling that car, and guess what we got?
MDX, right? Or no?
No, we had the MDX at the time. We sold the Silver Odyssey and got ourselves another Silver Odyssey.
Hell yeah.
And that Silver Odyssey was the story I told in the first episode of this podcast was the car that really got me into cars.
Yeah.
So that's why it will always have a soft spot for me.
Well, actually, now you look back at it, I mean, good thing you put a little pressure on that windshield then, huh?
Yeah, seriously. Or else I wouldn't be here.
And then you wouldn't be here, then I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't know you. Because the only reason you talked to me was because you saw Corvettes on my wallpaper for my iPhone back when we met in college in that orientation class.
Yeah, this is the beginning of our friendship, okay? I see Parth with a phone and it has Corvettes. And it's like, hey, you into cars?
Yeah. He's like, you watch Grand Tour? You watch Top Gear? Yeah.
It's like, let's be friends.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now we out here making podcasts. Freaking, what year was that? 2013? 6 years, bro?
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Funny how those things work out, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right, shall we go to our sponsored break?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome to our sponsored break. Parth, what is our sponsor?
Our sponsor is Sapien. Sapien is a social networking blockchain with... I should read the text, shouldn't I? I should actually read it. Fuck, dude. God damn it. I was just trying to not pull it up, dude. Damn it.
You're just gonna say keywords.
Social network, blockchain.
Social network, cryptocurrency, .network. Okay, we're good.
All right, let's restart that again. Our sponsor this week is Sapien, as it was the previous weeks. Thank you, Sapien. Sapien is a blockchain-based social network that rewards users for high-quality content with cryptocurrency. And you can sign up today at Sapien, www.sapien.network to start earning today. So, yeah. Thank you, Sapien. We appreciate it. Love you long time.
Love you a long time. As always, we are sponsored by ourselves. Go check out our website at thecurbsidepodcast.com. We have a blog there. You can listen to us there. And then, all of our social links are there. So that'd be cool if you check it out. How do we get back to the show?
We... right now.
Okay, now we're back to the show. with
You like that transition?
Excellent transition there.
200 IQ shit right there, man.
And as we know, now it is time for The news.
News. Jeff.
Yes.
There's bullshit. There's bullshit in the world of cars.
What is this? What is this you are talking about?
There's a freaking Toyota dealer in Alabama selling a slightly used Supra for $167,000.
Yes, I saw this. You know how much? Okay, they're like slightly used. It only has 182 miles on the odometer.
Yeah.
This is the problem with dealerships.
This is the problem right here. This is the problem.
This is the prime example of dealerships being stupid. And anyone who buys this, I'm going to be really pissed because then you're just like feeding into their like...
I like how they list it as no haggle price. Like, the fuck, dude? Like, what are these guys on?
Seriously. Okay, how about you take $107,000?
You know the reasoning for this shit is? Why?
What? Why?
So the general manager told actually car and driver it belongs to the dealership owner, and they say that the price is based on Supra scarcity in the Southeast. Bruh.
Wow.
Bro, I mean, like, people ain't stupid. They can just go over to look at California listings or New York listings and then be like, I'm going to buy from there and ship it.
Yeah, I'll buy it there. I could buy it there, sight unseen, ship it over, get it fixed.
You could buy two of them.
Yeah.
Sight unseen and ship it.
Right? Like, what? Like, who's going to do this? And it's, okay, it's the launch edition. I don't even like the launch edition.
No.
Freaking the red mirrors look dumb.
Yeah, they look pretty out of place. I guess that has something to do with the region, because apparently in the same region in August, they were selling a Challenger Demon for $165,000 as well.
Why?
I don't know. Some Southeast shit. Don't buy these cars in the Southeast or United States.
Just buy your cars from here and ship it over because you'll save the money, dude.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is some Porsche level shit. This is some Porsche level shit right here with this mark of bullshit, dude.
Here's a car that I believe should be able to, be marketed at that price and even better, okay? Here's a headline on Autoblog. Jaguar CX-75 James Bond movie car is going up for auction.
Oh, the one from Die Another Day?
Yeah, the villain's car. No, I'm sorry. From Spectre.
Oh, okay. Then,
yeah.
All right.
The orange one from Spectre. You've seen the CX-75, right?
Yeah. And the orange one from the movie is actually really nice.
What do you think about the CX-75?
I like it. We're talking about the one from the movie?
Yeah. Or
yeah.
The car in general, dude.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's just like a crying shame that they never put it into production.
So, sorry to cut you off, but do you remember the history of this car? Like, it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out. So it started out as a concept. The concept had like jet engines and whatnot.
Yeah, and then it became turbocharged and supercharged.
Yeah.
That was what was supposed to be his drivetrain.
Yeah, but the main thing was the looks of it. Like, Jaguar going back to a mid-engine design that they hadn't done since like, what, the XJ220?
Yeah.
And it looked beautiful. And it then went to, as you're saying, like, production. I mean, on the way to production, right?
Yeah.
And they even had a couple, like, near-production test mules.
Yeah.
But then what happened?
Well, what happened was, this was the time when Jaguar was, like, new to Tata. And Tata was like, yeah, we gotta actually make money. We gotta actually make money in this company, so let's focus on other things first. So I think they just, like, freaking 86 the whole project.
So sad, dude. It almost came out.
Oh, good. You know what this car reminded me of, though? Or reminds me of?
What?
The freaking, the Valkyrie. The one we talked about, the Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it looks better than this one, so...
That's true.
All's good. All's good. All's good that ends well, man.
Yeah, but dude, like the CX-75, okay? If you look at the orange one from Spectre,
yeah, I mean, it looks sick.
You could release it now and it looks nice.
Yes.
The car came out in 2010.
Okay, so that ages really well then.
Yeah, that aged fantastically well. Like, I could see this coming out today and being like, wow, modern supercar.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so sad that they never made it.
Maybe they will. Maybe they'll come out with a new version of it or something. But I mean, Jaguar's now starting to actually make money, so they can maybe focus on other things.
Yeah, their lineup is kind of boring right now.
Yeah.
Parth, do you have any other news?
Yeah, actually, you know, kind of goes back to what we talked about, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, where like American car companies like stop production of like certain cars and they come back and they're like, it's coming out again, world premiere, right? So they're doing this shit again. It's kind of exciting, actually. New Ford Bronco.
Ooh.
So Ford has officially announced that it's going to debut in spring of 2020, and they've given like a little teaser video for it, which you can check out online. And from what people are speculating what it looks like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like, it'll be pretty cool. I think if they pull it off correctly, it'll be kind of like America's Defender.
I hope they go back to that original, like, the original concept for the Bronco, because you know how that came out? Like, what the whole idea behind it was?
No.
It's called the Bronco, which is a horse, because it was supposed to be basically the SUV off-road version of a Mustang.
Yeah, okay, I see.
And I just really like that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. But, yeah, hopefully next spring, we should be seeing a new Bronco come out, and then probably on the roads not too long after that. In some more out there news, Porsche has designed a super yacht.
Okay.
Yeah. 135-foot long spaceship on water, they're calling it. I don't know. Just look up Royal Falcon 1.
Royal Falcon 1. That's a good name. Holy, what the heck is that? Dude, it just reminds me of Baymax from Big Hero 6. It's just, he turned into a boat. There it is. Yeah. What the heck is... Oh, okay.
So some Singapore subsidiary went to Porsche and told them, hey, design this shit for me. And they came out with this 135-foot yacht. And the design is intended to help differentiate it from its competition. I think they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any yacht I've ever seen.
So I'm reading up on this, okay? And it says the boat can accommodate 10 guests.
On a 135-foot yacht, yes. That's luxury.
That's a lot of space per guest.
More people have come afloat onto United States shores in a single dinghy than they have in this freaking yacht. Well, that's luxury. How big can you make it, and how useful can you make it in terms of fitting people?
Yeah, so it says the boat can accommodate 10 guests over 5 guest rooms, and it has a master suite, a private balcony. It has an onboard bar, a jacuzzi, and a tender garage.
And it's powered by two 2,300 horsepower diesel engines, and it's capable of having a cruise speed of 15 knots on the water, and it has a top speed of 35 knots. That's pretty fast for a yacht that's 135 feet long, dude. And for anybody who's listening and who might be interested in buying this yacht, it is for sale and is currently listed with Camper and Nicholson, and the price is only available upon application. They don't even throw in a free 911 with this shit. Like, what the hell's the point of that, dude? Like,
knowing that it's a Porsche, it's probably going to be marked up another $10 million.
No, because it's not through a Porsche dealership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So they're good. They're good people. Yeah. So Porsche's in the yacht designing industry. That's something you find out when you have money, but something that more us mortals can afford. Henessey Maximus, Jeff. Look this shit up.
Henessey Maximus. Bootius Maximus.
Yes, that's what they say.
Oh, is a gladiator from Jeep?
1,000 horsepower gladiator, bro.
I love this headline. Car and Driver's headline is Henessey Maximus is a 1,000 horsepower Jeep gladiator from
hell.
So it's powered by a Hellcat engine?
Yeah.
See? I told you, man. I told you.
Dude, literally,
Episode
they
1.
heard our podcast and they're shoving this thing into anything they can.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up, because I'm like, Jeff's gonna like the fact that they're using the Hellcat engine in this too. $225,000, which is still cheaper than that Yacht. Could have a few of these instead of that Yacht.
Good, thank you. I'm glad that I'm glad that you think that I could afford this, Parth.
I mean, cheaper than the Yacht. Cheaper than a Porsche, man. But yeah, it's gonna apparently debut next week in SEMA.
Oh, I can't wait for SEMA. In other news, Parth, did you know that De Tomaso is back?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not like that excited though.
Oh yeah.
Because it just kind of looks like they're throwing it all together at the last minute.
But have you seen the car they came out with though?
Yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
You guys haven't seen the De Tomaso P72? It reminds me kind of those like olden day like racing Ferraris.
The thing I liked about De Tomaso is they look amazing, and they're a much affordable version of Ferraris, but they were also pretty garbage cars.
Because they were always like put together by a bunch of different things, right? Like
Yeah.
like it was what I can't tell. Was it Italian? Was it American? What was it?
Was it British? Like there was some Lotus in there too.
Yeah, I have no idea. But right now, it sounds like the same story.
Exactly. That's why I'm not too like, oh, it's like, okay, cool, but I feel like it's going to have the same end as the original De Tomaso.
Yeah, so because right now it's being revived by a Hong Kong-based company called Consolidated Ideal Team Ventures.
Very creative name.
Yeah, very, very nice. And right now, the news is that it's getting a 5.0 liter. Why did I say 5? A 5 liter. A 5 liter Ford V8 that will make over 700 horsepowers.
Let's see how long they last.
Yeah. Any other news, man?
No, man. That's pretty much it for this week. Not much going on in the car world.
Oh, yeah, not a lot of news. All right, guys, thank you for listening to our podcast as always. And you can find us at the curbsidepodcast.com, where you will get all of the links to our thingamabobs. You go to the Libsyn link and it goes to our Apple Podcasts, our Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, all that sort of jazz. And we also follow us on Instagram at the Curbside Podcast, which is also the name of our Facebook page. We are on Twitter at the Curbside Pod, and we are also on YouTube. The YouTube channel is a bit not being updated type deal right now because my video editing program isn't working. Once that gets done, I will be uploading back to that. So please go and subscribe to that. And thank you for Kid Dope for letting us use his song Fast Cars and Wild Hearts as the intro and outro of our show. And as always, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Parth.
Drive safe, and life is too short to drive boring cars.
Goodbye.